You're all about to witness history. A heavyweight trilogy, there hasn't been one in the last 20 years.
You want a moment where you can't take your eyes off the screen because you're so afraid that if you do 1 second that you're going to miss the best moment of your life.
You got the freight train versus the 18-wheeler. Carnage and mayhem.
You have to be perfect for 12 rounds. I only have to be perfect for 2 seconds.
Someone's getting knocked the out.
Don't blink.
Just a day away from the historic rematch of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder on Fox Sports pay-per-view. Fury is confident he'll retain the belt, saying the fight won't go the distance and he'll make Wilder quit. Now, on the other side, Wilder called himself rejuvenated and said he's dedicated to, quote, reinventing himself. We are now joined by First Things First co-host Chris Broussard. Chris, how much of a shot do you give Deontay Wilder this time?
I think I give him a better shot than most, all right? I know a lot of people think it's going to be just like the second fight or maybe worse, all right? I don't think it's that simple. You know, people are saying Wilder has a puncher's chance at best, but I think there's questions about both of these guys that really make this matchup intriguing. Let's start with Fury. Number one, he had COVID in July. That's why the first fight was called, or, you know, the fight was initially delayed because he came down with COVID. Has that affected him at all? Did that affect him, you know, during his training? Will it affect him in the fight? Those are questions. Number two, and you guys talked about this yesterday, his trainer says he's coming in 20 pounds heavier than he did for the second fight. Now, they're pushing it as he's just going to be stronger. We wanted to put that weight on. And that's possible, but it also could be he's not in shape. You know, and there were rumors coming out about his camp before he got COVID that he wasn't looking good in training. We also know he didn't want the fight. He wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. He had to be, you know, Wilder had to basically force him to take this third fight. So is he taking Wilder lightly? Does he think, you know, I'll crush this guy easily again? And maybe has that led to him not being as sharp as he was heading into the second fight? Then you go to Wilder. Obviously, the questions are the demons. All right, and you guys know the history of boxing is that bullies who have run through everyone for years, if they get knocked out in their first loss, they're never the same. It is hard for them to recover. We can go back to Sonny Liston. We can go to George Foreman. Now, Foreman came back, but it took him 10 years and a religious conversion to get back to, you know, becoming a great boxer. Mike Tyson was never the same after he was beat. We can even go into the octagon and look at Ronda Rousey. So has Wilder exercised those demons? And if so, will they come back once he gets into the ring? And then secondly, has he learned just the rudimentary boxing skills to keep from being bulldozed like he was in the second fight? He's obviously not going to become Sugar Ray Leonard. But has he learned better footwork? Has he learned how to stay balanced? Has he learned better defensive techniques? Has he learned to use the jab as a weapon rather than as a measuring stick? Has he learned better and different ways to set up his big right hand? Those things are learnable in a short time. If he has done that, then I think he puts up a better fight than people think he will. Now, so what am I saying? I think it's going to be a good fight, better than people expect, competitive, and I'm going with Fury in a unanimous decision. And Wilder might catch him and put him down once, but Fury in a unanimous decision.
I would say he's always has a shot. Because when you're dealing with a guy that has this kind of power, even late in the fight, he can end the fight. He can turn the lights out of a party at any given time in a fight, and that's what normally happens in the heavyweight division. I'm giving him a better chance, Deontay Wilder, a better chance this time for a lot of the reasons that you said, Chris. Coming in 20 pounds heavier, you dominated the fight. I mean, it's like you win a game. You play one team, you dominate the game, running the football for 450 yards. In the next game, you come out and say, well, dog, we're going to throw it 50 times this game. What? Why? You dominated it doing that way. Why would you ever go into a fight after you dominated it one way and then gain 20 pounds? What makes you think power was the reason that you needed more power? You knocked the guy out, Skip. You stopped him in 7. So clearly you had enough power going in. I agree with you. I believe what happened was that because he caught COVID, he couldn't train. It set him back in his schedule as far as training, and he put the weight on. And they're trying to sell it as, oh, he wanted to get beefed up. We wanted to be bigger, stronger. Nah, because the thing was, when you listened to him talk the last time, they said they had never seen Tyson Fury look so good. He's in better shape than he's ever been in any of his fights. And after the most impressive fight, after winning the title, you're like, nah, you know what? I think I'll probably be even better if I put on 20 pounds. Who thinks like that? Now, where I'm going to give you some pushback, Chris, is that I just don't think it's as easy as you say for Deontay Wilder, because he's fought his entire life this style. I'm looking to land. The jab is a measuring stick. How close can I get you to landing this overhand right, this one-hitter quitter? So I don't know if he can be, because Tyson Fury is a boxer. He's a very skilled boxer, a man at that size with the movement that he possesses. So I'm not so sure that Deontay Wilder can do all the things that you would need him to do in order. But he's going to have to be close. He can't just stand there, look to land that shot, because Fury is getting off. So let's see. He says he's going to punch his arms. He's going to punch his chest. He's definitely going to punch him in his head, in his midsection. I want to see. I agree with you. I think Fury wins this. Fury can win this in a multitude of ways. He can win it by decision. He can win it by knocking him out. But I believe the only way Deontay Wilder wins this fight is by knockout. I'm going Fury.
So I just heard my two friends run all the way to the edge of the cliff and look over the cliff down into the abyss and say, nah.
That's dangerous down there. I can't do that.
I'm good. I won't go. I, for one, am going to leap over the cliff's edge.
Okay.
I am picking Wilder to win this fight for all the reasons that you guys were trying to get to, but you couldn't conclude it. Oh, he's going to win in a unanimous decision. Fury's going to win. No. This is the right place, right time for Deontay Wilder. Everything adds up to upset to me because, as you guys have pointed out, Tyson Fury did not want this fight. He had to be dragged back to this fight by an arbitrator who said, hey, this language in this contract says you got to do this.
Right.
I got to do this?
Right.
I've been there and done that. I beat him fair and square in the first fight, and it was judged a split draw. But anybody who watched the first fight until the last round said he's dominating. And then what happened in the last round? Deontay finally caught him. He rocked him and dropped him. And one of the craziest things I've ever seen happen in a heavyweight fight, Tyson Fury raised himself from the dead. He got back up off the mat and said, I'm good.
He's alive.
He's alive. And not only did he rejoin the fight, he started dominating the fight again all the way to the close of the fight. And yet one judge had it 115-111 for Wilder, really? And the other judge had it 114-112 for Fury. And the other judge said 113 all split draw. I watched it and I said, I'm sorry, Tyson Fury's just better. And then I watched the bigger, better boxer just flat out dominate round 2, so to speak, of this fight, the second fight. And yet, I do believe in Deontay Wilder's supreme, severe pride. He's got as much pride as any boxer I've ever watched, and it's attached to supreme punching power.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest puncher we've ever seen in the heavyweight division. I know it's hard to sort of quantify that, but I'll buy that. And yet I want to make it clear, I am not shilling for Fox. This is a Fox production. When I tell you, I just believe that Wilder's going to win this fight because, yes, Tyson, he didn't want this fight. He actually got COVID twice in the interim between fight number 2 and fight number 3. And to Chris's point, this one got pushed back 3 months because of COVID. And then, remember, the trainer the other day at the big media session, he volunteered. Oh, my guy's coming in at plus 20 pounds, at least 20 more pounds. Wait, he weighed 273 last time, 293, maybe close to 3 bills.
Right.
And what was he doing? He was trying to head off at the pass the criticism that could fall today.
Because they got the weigh-in, Skip.
Yeah.
So when he take his top off, he gonna be out there looking like the great white hype. You remember that movie, Chris, where the guy stuck? Be like, whoa, what happened?
He is.
Okay.
So they prepared you for it, Skip.
He already looked bad. He already looked bad.
Okay, remember, Tyson Fury, back in his younger days, he fought through depression. He fought through suicidal thoughts. He had eating disorders. He had addiction issues.
Right.
He was a fat man at one point who weighed way over 300 pounds. Right. So he got right, and he dominated fight number 2, and now he's putting on weight. Well, don't tell me it's muscle weight. I'm not buying that.
Nah.
I'm just not buying it. Don't tell me you had to get 20 pounds bigger just because that'll make you more dominant. Right. It will not.
Right.
I think he's going to have stamina problems. I don't think he even wants this fight. I think he'll try to end it quickly just because he knows if it starts to go 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds, he's going to have problems. And because he'll want to win it, to end it quickly,
well, he opens himself up.
He's going to get rocked and dropped early in this fight. He's going to be knocked back on his heels. He's going to get stung. It's going to be more of a level playing field, I believe. And I think by round 9, Deontay Wilder will get him a second time permanently. He'll drop him and it'll be over.
Well, the thing he's going to need to do with that excess weight, he's going to have to pressure Tyson Fury to get him tired. You just can't just stand in front of him looking to unload that shot, because now you get letting him box at his pace. Yep. You're going to have to make him speed up the pace and make him carry that 20 extra pounds around the ring. Probably be 25, 30 come fight night, considering once he refuel.